Alright. So guys, a week has passed since the initial release of Paldea Evolved. Now, a lot of the cards, by my surprise, have seen an incredible drop or an incredible spike in price. I'm sure you guys want to know what the top 10 cards are and what you guys should look forward to seeing with the possible future of the cards themselves. We're going to start by jumping straight on into the top 10 cards, and if there's anything you may want to add to these cards, what you guys think the prices will be, if they will go up or down in the future, let me know in the comments below. Tell me your favorite card, and maybe the one you're most proud of. But we'll just jump right on into the video with our top 10 at number 10. Alright, so number 10 being Meowscarada EX, right? Honestly, not where I figured this card would go. Meowscarada EX, Skeledirge EX look absolutely fantastic in their arts. I'd expect them to be a little bit more than what they are worth, but as you guys can see, for number 10, it hits Meowscarada. Its going market price value is about $18.50 as of 4 o'clock on June 19th. So, do I believe this card has hit its floor? No. But have I seen that the card dropped in significant value over time? Absolutely. The deck that Meowscarada has is more of a gimmick, but it is a lot of fun to play. Just being able to discard energies and just ping your opponent a few times, sometimes getting a free knockout off of just a couple of pings is pretty fun. I did play the deck, and I think that it's actually got a place in having a fun gimmick deck. Do I think it's going to be tier 1 ever? Not really. But who knows? Some stuff might come out in the future for grass-type decks that make this incredibly strong. But for right now, it's more or less tier 2. But we're talking about the price of the card. Price of the card going price before the set came out during its pre-release stages was up to $38.77. Very high, about $40 for an Illustrator rare before the set even came out. Although, upon release, it dropped almost 15 bucks, a little more, to $22.45 on its release date. And as a week has gone by, we see that the price is down to $19.07 for the card itself. Like I said, do I think it's hit the floor? Absolutely not. But do I think it's easy to pick it up right now because a lot of people may have it? Yes. But honestly, I believe its floor might level out at around $15. Maybe a few months from now when the card becomes irrelevant and there's more updated cards that have come out, this deck doesn't get any support, it may drop to as low as 10. I honestly believe if you see it at $15 though, you should be happy with that. And if you haven't picked it up already, collecting it then would be a very solid catch. We're gonna go straight from the 9th highest, the 10th highest card with Meowscarada to the 9th highest card, which honestly I didn't expect. The 9th highest being Garusha. Now I'm sure that this card has its value more so due to its art, the fact that it's a trainer card and not a Pokemon, and not because of its ability. It doesn't really have a place in the current metagame, and nor do I think it will ever get a place in the current metagame. So at this moment, this card is just its value due to this artistry itself. Supporters don't normally drop in value too much for a very long time, nor does it really gain any value unless it comes like back into a meta play. So I don't believe that Garusha will be seeing any ups or downs significantly. But let me show you the price history of the card from its early release date, which is here on June 4th to June 6th at $65, to its release day right here at $26. It drops almost 40 bucks just because it got released in English. Just released. But as the time has gone on, it even saw another dip all the way to 1882. And it's gone up since then, all the way over to $21.56. So, seeing that it's leveling out around here, I suppose $20 would not be terrible for the card if you haven't already picked it up. But like I said, this card is not got a lot of meta play on it. It's not got a great ability of being able to draw cards until you have 5 in your hand. If there's no Pokemon on your side that already have energy, you're allowed to draw until you have 7 in your hand. When Professor's Research is just in the game already, you can just dump, draw 7. Most of the cards in your hand you never really want to hang on to anyway. So there isn't really much of a play for Garusha in the metagame. In terms of its art, in terms of its supporter status, it can be brought back into the game later date, who knows? But do I think that it's going to be worth anything higher than 20 bucks? Not really. Alright, so let's move forward from number 8. Again, another card I didn't really expect to be at the top 8 or top 10, but let me show you. It's Dendra. Dendra, again, put a card from your hand to the bottom of your deck, and if you do, draw cards until you have 5 in your hand. Again, I don't see its play. I've been watching Paldea evolve. I've been looking into a lot of decks. Sure, Iono is easily in every single deck. I have not seen a single person play a Dendra, but the card itself has yet to lose value. Like, obviously it's lost value since its release day, but $20 is pretty high for a card that's not used, and, well, let's just go straight down to the price history and show you guys what the prices look like right now. Again, its early release price was $60. Supporters are so expensive during the release price, but that is, again, the pre-release. During release day, it dropped from 60 to 32, cutting its price in, well, almost in half. As of a week passing, it literally dropped to its lowest point of $23.56 and has gone a little bit back up to $23.66 on its price history. And that's as of current prices. Its market value being a little bit around 20 bucks at lightly played hollow foil. So you guys can see a little bit at the bottom, lightly played hollow foil being around $20 and then around $23 for the near mints. So the recent sale price being at around $23, I'm going to say the card hits about 23 bucks for the special illustration rare Dendra card. Again, meta players, no, I do not think that this card is going to be super meta, or this card specifically is going to be super meta. But again, for those collectors out there who are looking for the full set, I think the card could go down a couple more bucks in the upcoming weeks. So you can hold back on purchasing the Dendra card for just a little bit of time, and it most likely will go down in price for you. But again, right now, it's very easy to find these cards at your local vendor. Friends may have it and be willing to trade for it because it is going to just lose value. But at the same time, $20, I would say, is pretty solid fare for a special illustration supporter card. Supporters can see play in the future, so again, always take that into consideration when trying to get one of these cards. Moving forward, let's pop to the next one, and we go check out one again that I really didn't expect. Raichu. Raichu is only sitting at a couple of bucks, literally between $1 and $3, above the Dendra card. This card only has a limited stock time. It will get rotated out at some point. And no one is using it because of the fact it has a 200 attack move, but you have to discard all the energy to use it, so it's not fantastic. No one's running a Pikachu and evolving it into a Raichu in any one of their actual meta decks, so I don't believe this deck will see a lot of play. But this is one of those cards that see a rapid spike from its release, which is very, very unique to see in any kind of Pokemon card. Normally during these early release of the cards, the pre-release, the prices are already fixated at their highest point and will drop when they come out. Raichu somehow did the opposite. And it's not the only card in the set that did the opposite. Let me show you its price history, and scroll down a little bit here. When it was during, this is earlier than like Dendra. This is before that. This is May 29th and 31st. It comes out at $15. Its release price literally drops to $11.04. But in the upcoming week after release, people were seeing that the card was not being pulled as often. Its rarity is what gave it its value, and thus spiked it. Obviously, there's more things that come into play when it comes to a card like this. It could be the market price because no one has it. It could be the short printing of it. It could be outside resources, short buying. There's a whole bunch of things that come into play when it comes to buying a card. But for some unknown reason, it spikes from $15 from its pre-release price to $28 by the 15th. A couple of days later, obviously, its price is going back down, so it's hard to really tell what the stabilization of this card is going to be. But the fact that a special illustration Raichu that's not playable, and honestly, it looks very simplistic in its design compared to, say, Dendra or Garusha. You see this Raichu, and it looks kind of like an anime picture, like a picture from the show itself. Not even the, like, super crazy hyperfoil. It just looks like a very simple picture. So non-meta playable, not special picture. but something happened to this card specifically that juiced its price up. Again, another one of these cards where I don't believe that its value will stay at what it's at, but in my opinion, should drop about $10. I would not pick this card up anytime soon. Let's go to the next one. Now, this one I feel is either on the fence of deserving its spot or should have never gotten there in the first place. Tyranitar's Illustration Rare. Now, I know a couple of YouTubers have already played the Tyranitar deck and find this a very fun gimmick of 2 Dark Energies, 230. It can easily knock out any V Pokemon in the entire game using 2 Dark Energies. Rare candies are easy to make it evolve, and the card looks magnificent. Tyranitar is one of the top favorite Pokemon from the community itself, but the value of the card itself again showed off a very weird curve. It was very low to start, shot up in price, and it's going back down again. So it's a little hard to tell what its overall value is going to be. I personally, again, would not be keeping a card like this. It probably would go straight out to being sold, save the money, and then use the money later to buy another version of another copy of it, but for much cheaper. I don't believe that an Illustrator Rare card of Tyranitar, which is not playable but looks good, will stay at the value that it's showing. You guys can see right there the near mint hollow foil showing $28.50 with $2 shipping, making it about $30 for the card. Let's just go straight to the price history and show you guys what happened here. Again, pre-release price $22.74, shoving forward the release date $26.72, and then a little bit later it shoots up in price to $41.51. Why? Again, I'm not entirely sure. I didn't hear anything about Tyranitar. I just know that it went up in price drastically after the release. But again, did not take long. It literally had a 3-day jump to this price and dropped to 33, and furthermore, dropped to 31. The price will not be staying this high, and it will be seeing significant drops in future weeks. So make sure you guys keep an eye on the card if you don't already have it, but find your safe level and go, you know what? $25, if I see it at that, I'll buy it. $20, if I see it at that, I will buy it. Right now, it is very easy to find the card. A lot of people have it. You can see many, 72 listings of the card. Shipping, $30 is its lowest price because of the $5 shipping. But I honestly believe that this card will lose value. It's not going to stay at $30 for a Special Illustrator Tyranitar you can't even use. Now, these next cards are exactly the cards I thought would be hitting the super high value cards. We have the top 5. One of those ended up in the wrong spot. Okay, so this is the point where I caught that I accidentally had one of these saved in the wrong location and found it at the end where it shouldn't have been. But this one is the actual number 10. I botched this, my bad. I'm still baby YouTuber. If you feel bad for me, put a like on the video. I'll fix it for next time, I promise. But reshooting the entire thing after shooting about 20 minutes of it has already annoyed me because I have to still edit this and put this out on the same day. So I'm gonna move on from here. This is number 10. Meowscarada was number 9, Grusha 8, Dendra 7, 6 Raichu, 5 Tyranitar, and then we're gonna get to the top 4. But Boss's Orders in its Special Illustration Rare is $17. Again, one of those cards that topped out during its pre-release price, came out, lost a ton of value at $27, and is proceeding to lose even more value as time goes on, and as of today, its lowest price is about $18, and it will continue to lose value, but I don't believe that it should go lower than $15, seeing as it is a Boss's Orders supporter card, so it will always stay in play. I would personally pick one up for $15 just so that way I can use it, and it is a 4 of playset. A lot of people like to play multiple copies of Boss's Orders in their deck. So I do believe this card will be worth the $15 if you are interested in getting a Special Illustration Boss's Orders, which I believe might be the first Special Illustration there is for Boss's Orders. So this one can go down as a pretty solid price at $17. I think it might go to 15 as its probable baseline, and I would probably pick one up at around $15. Let me try and get back to where I was before and show you guys the top 4 cards. Again, this is what I expected to be in the top 4. Actually, this is what I expected to be in the top 3, seeing as this was like the only competitive deck that actually came out in Paldea Evolved. Chien-Pao, very simply put, is the actual epitome of a water-type deck. We saw success with the Raichu V that people put in their Miraidon decks because of the fact they can just dump your energies and just put 60 times the amount of damage of energies, getting rid of 5 energies, throw them all away, one-shot knockout on most things. 6, you can definitely guarantee a one-shot knockout on anything. And the deck is able to run its energies very strong. This, giving its ability, allows you to put 2 water energies into your deck at the start of the turn. Excalibur allows you to place any amount of water energies you have, any time of day, anywhere you want on your turn. And having the Super Rejuvenation to get 4 energies from the discard pile allows you to just basically put everything you need to knock out any Pokemon very easily onto the board. Which then you follow up by using your supporters, which allow you to take your opponent's Pokemon, such as Boss's Orders or Serena, to take them up and then knock them out easily. So even if you lose a Chien-Pao, you're going to start the prize trade by hitting their EXs, their strong Pokemon, their ability Pokemon. You can get a free knockout on very easily and get the prize trade win. So Chien-Pao, I figured, was going to see a lot of play, and the Special Illustration Rare was going to see a lot of value. I did actually have a friend of mine pull this during the pre-release, and we checked it back then. It was at $100, but it only had 1 listing, so it did not get marked on here since it only had 1 listing, and no one bought that. But its actual listing at $85 is pretty impressive for its pre-release price. Going straight over to its release day price, the price gets almost cut in half to $43. It's pretty close to, I'll say half. It's about half. $43 upon release. And again, as the week goes on, the price drops and drops and drops some more, all the way up to today's active price of $34.34, with the shipping is about $35. Do I actually believe that this card is going to go down in price? Absolutely not. It's playable, it's meta relevant, it's a beautiful card. Honestly, I still don't have one and need it, so I want one for myself. In terms of value price, I honestly can see this card being a $40 card. So, being as it is $35 right now, I think its price is pretty solid to purchase one if you don't have one for your collection. Do I think you should run, 3 of them that you need for a deck? Probably not. But I do think it is cool to have if you have them already in your deck. I know I did it with my Miraidon deck. I kept, for some reason, pulling the alternate art Miraidon, so I needed 3 in a deck. I stuck 3 in the deck because I had 4. But, again, I do believe this is a $40 card. I do believe this thing could go up in value. So, I honestly believe that right now, this card is worth what it should be worth. As more sets come out and more water support is available, such as 151 with Blastoise coming out, it could even see a higher play rate. So, its value could be exponential. Going to the top 3. Number 3. Obviously, you guys probably could have guessed this one. It is our full art Iono. And the price, significantly higher than I expected, to be entirely honest. Another one of those cards that did jack price early game. It was $80 before it even came out as just the full art, which gave us an incredible look at what it was going to be when it came out in the actual set. It actually saw a bit of a spike right before it came out to $80, and then upon release date, dropped to $46. Honestly, I figured this card was going to be like 20, 30 bucks. I don't remember what I actually said in the release video, but I figured it was going to be 20, 30. And then as the price came out, $46 when it came out, I was pretty close. But then it creeps up a little bit. So it goes to $46.75 as of today. It's probably around $50 by the time the video comes out, probably later today. It will go up in price. Do I think that $50 is solid value for the card? Sure, because Iono is super meta relevant. Every deck is running 2, 3, 4 copies of Iono. It's such a powerful card. It's fusion between the old version N and Marnie put together, making it just super meta relevant. Again, is it another card I would say you should run multiple copies of as a floor? Absolutely not. It is way too expensive. It's way too nice of a card. But hey, am I going to stop you from doing it? No, absolutely not. I will tell you, damn, that is a beautiful card. Excellent job trying to collect those. Excellent deck. It looks great. And honestly, it's such a powerful card. I can't even tell you don't use it. So now we're going to cut over to the top two. We're going to number 2, which again, this card, in my opinion, should not be up there. This card got gouged pricing. It is partially a meme, and honestly, the price history and the recent sales should speak for itself as to terms of what is going on with the card, but I will try to explain. Magikarp. The special illustration Magikarp. Before the set came out during its pre-release day, it was $27.50, and again, I figured the card would drop drastically. $27.50 seemed absurd for a Magikarp card. Now, once again, I didn't even notice these things until I started actually looking at the Magikarp card. There's this excellent Gyarados in the background you can't even see. I checked the artist. The artist is the same artist who drew the Giratina V alternate art, one that's like $350 or something like that. And right now you can see its price is at $75. $75 for this. This is not a card that is worth $75. It is a Magikarp. It's a Magikarp. It is a Magikarp. Say it again. No, do I ever think that a Magikarp should be worth more than $2? Absolutely not. Even the special illustration rare. There's other special illustration rares that even look a little bit better than this one that I can approve of that are worth like $6. Heck, Bramblin to me looks better than this thing, and it's $2. But Magikarp for $75? No, sir. I will never respect anyone purchasing a Magikarp alternate art card for $75. The day it came out during the pre-release, it was $27.50. And then, as it actually got released, it was still $34.10 because the price, it rose a little bit. That makes sense. But as time went on, it jumped from a bloody 34 to tripling its price. I saw this card being sold in the hundreds. People were buying it as a $90 card. Thank golly, in the last 3 days, it has dropped a little bit, showing that the card is on the decline. And I honestly don't believe that if this card is going to stay at a high value, it will stay at maximum $50. But I don't believe this card should ever be obtained for more than $20. It's a special illustration rare. Even if there's a whole bunch of hype around it, it was short printed, it's hard to find, no one has it, oh my gosh. I still don't believe it's worth more than $20. Jumping forward, I have a whole rant I can go on for this Magikarp, but jumping forward from the Magikarp, we jump over to the number 1 card, which you all expected, which no one didn't see coming, is the Illustrator Art Iono card. Again, Iono's super meta relevant. Everyone loves it. It is a supporter, so it can always come back. Once it gets rotated out, it can get reprinted, so it can still be in play. So this card does show its worth in terms of value. Very, 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 very difficult to tell you how much this card can fluctuate, being that it is at a $130 value right now. Showing the original price being $174 and showing you just how much it's fluctuated in 1 week. 2 weeks, technically. The release date being right here at $116 when it first came out, and then pushing forward, you can see that it jumped to $147 and then went on the decline to $135, all the way to its just a couple of days ago, or yesterday, $133, and it's still on the decline to $130. Do I believe this card will see too much of a decline? It's hard to say. Iono is super meta relevant. In the last set, Miriam was the super meta relevant card that when it came out was worth $120. Now it's around $40, $50. It has dropped significantly ever since this most recent set has come out. Do I think Iono will drop as drastically? Maybe. But I honestly do believe that by the next set that comes out, Iono may not be seeing as much value as it is now. and I do believe it can drop to below 100. I do believe it. It will take some time, don't get me wrong, but value of cards will drop. Iono, there's no special edition Iono, there's no short print of Iono, and right now, as more copies are being printed out for Paldea Evolved to go out, the value of the card will decrease. You can show over here the recent purchases of $133. I am covering it a little bit. $133 was the most recent price, and the listed medium being $150 makes it extremely expensive. 64 listings though, like I said, it's not terribly hard to find the card. And do I think that it's expensive as of right now? Absolutely. But do I think the price will go down again? Absolutely. I hope you guys enjoyed the top 10 list, but just a quick reminder on how fluctuating can happen within the system, within the cards, within the game itself. We bring back Magikarp and how absurd its price range is.